Maybe we'll just start with what happened on the weekend.
Yeah, look, full credit to Sunbury. They were a lot better than what we were. Had far more of the footy, pretty much, and that showed on the scoreboard.
You beat North City in round 6, but it was a pretty close game. Are you expecting contested footy to be where this one's going to be won on the weekend?
Yeah, look, that was, I think, round 5 or 6, and 3 or 4 goals, I think, maybe. And, both sides have probably got changes to their sides from back then. And like all finals footy, it's one in and around the footy, so we'll be, asking for a big effort from, our midfield players.
Fantastic. North City, they racked up 31 scoring shots on the weekend. Is that a big concern, and how are you going to stop that?
Yeah, look, they did. I went and had a look on Sunday, and they played extremely well. They moved the ball really well, and their forwards really, they didn't rely on one forward. They had 4 or 5 different options, and that will be some concern to us. But we'll be backing our backline players and trying not to allow the supply down there to give them that many scoring opportunities.
What are you going to have to change from your game plan and the match on the weekend that you're going to have to, change to bring in for this one?
Look, it's not about changing anything, I don't think. We'll back our players that played. We may have a couple of changes, but, really Sunbury dominated us right from the start, so it's about getting off to a really good start, using the ball a little bit better and being able to put the opposition under more pressure. That's what we'll be aiming for this week.
Beautiful. Any big changes for this week, and is Nathan Horbury going to play? It'd be fair to say Nathan Horbury will play this week, yes.
Is that back line or midfield?
He will probably start in the middle, I reckon, Robbie.
Was Jezza injured last week?
No, he was fine, actually. I thought after Sunbury got that initial head start on us, there was probably only 2 or 3 players that really tried to change the pattern of the game, and I thought Jezza was one of them.
So he was not carrying anything?
He was not carrying anything. He's fine.
Will Nick Bye play this week?
50-50.
Anyone else? We mentioned Horbury. We've mentioned Nick Bye. Is there anyone else in the mix that didn't play last week?
Yeah, look, we potentially may make 1 or 2 other changes. A really pleasing thing for Redound this year has been the depth right through from seniors, reserves and under-18s. And our reserves had a really good win on Saturday against Darley, so that potentially 1 or 2 players may get a chance from there.
When was the last time Redound had this much pressure going into a sudden death final at this stage of the campaign? Has it been a while?
The only real pressure we see is if we lose, we're out. If we win, we go on the next week. The pressure, Robbie's going to have the same sort of pressure. If they win, they go on. If they lose, they're out. So, I don't see that there's any more pressure really than that.
And how are the team feeling? How was the feel after the game, to have lost that one? Obviously, Sunbury, were awesome from the start. You guys did pull it back a bit. But what was the feeling? It is a different position.
Yeah, look, it was pretty flat Saturday after the game, as you'd expect. Sunday morning at recovery, and we had our review and stuff like that. And, come 5 o'clock or 5:30, once we knew that we were playing North City, everyone was pretty focused on that. And last night at training, it was really good. It was not like no other night at training.
Fantastic. And they're coming in with obviously good momentum after this one. What are you going to have to do to really match up on them? And who are some of, where do you think the battle will be won this weekend?
Yeah, look, North City's, the improvement they've made last year and this year has been no doubt their midfield. Jason McNamara, Aidan George, Callan Young this year. We think our midfield is, pretty good as well. So we'll be thinking that whatever midfield gets on top will probably win the game.
I thought that the dominant player last week was Pat Karras, and he's a tall, and North City's got lots of talls. What can you do about that height differential? Is it a concern?
that has been one of our concerns all year. But until Saturday in the ruck, we've done pretty well. You know, for the first 10 or 12 games, we had 2 19-year-olds playing in the ruck that competed really well. That was against the likes of Sunbury and North City, East Point, the 3 teams that we're still up against to play. And this week against North City, they do have some height, you know, in their forward line and also through the ruck. And you know, Brett Dickinson has now played 3 or 4 games back in, and he's a quality premiership ruckman, and we'll be backing Brett. And if Nick plays, you know, he's also proven that he's a quality ruckman. So we think that we can match it with their tools.
Thank you.
You beat Dally on the weekend by 61 points. What's happened in less than a month since the last time they beat you, started August?
They beat us obviously 3 or 4 weeks ago, but we doubled their score leading to last quarter. Had a pretty ordinary second half and overran us. We sat back after the game and went through and what we could learn from that game while I was there, and actually got abused for it. We went upstairs drinking alcohol straight away, and one of their players mentioned back to the crowd on the weekend, and I sent the run out to them to remind them maybe they should have done what we did, but they're close up to 15 goals at that stage it was when he mouthed off. But look, we just did a bit of homework on them. They really jumped us and they played very well. Their better players played extremely well against us. So we just worked, focused on it a fair bit in the weekend and the week leading into the game the weekend, and touch wood, it all worked well.
Fantastic. And you played finals last year. You got some finals and 3 finals, I think, into the guys. Is that really paying off now, do you think? Is that really coming up for this season?
Well, the test will be obviously on Sunday. You know, good for finals experience last year. You know, we've played 1 game in the moment down at Darley. The test will be against an experienced team like Redan. You know, our under-18s reserves and seniors all play Redan the same day, so we'll find it this week.
Beautiful. Obviously it was a pretty good week break that helped Aidan George to, you know, obviously had a blinder on the weekend. But you also had a lot of different players contributing with scoring shots and getting a lot of goals. Is that something that you're really happy to see?
Look, it just the way the game panned out, we had we were well in front, so we could throw it around a little bit. We still had some blokes pretty sore, so blokes got rested, blokes got in different varieties of roles, and it all worked well. And so we had plenty of scoring opportunities, and we scored well. I think we kicked 7 or 8 points something for the day, which is pretty good for us, you know. So that was pleasing, but you know, we, like the previous coach said, we had 22 contributors, which were required in finals footy.
Fantastic. And how's the list travelling? Have you guys got any ins and outs going in?
Yeah, look, we just, you know, we're the same as, you know, Nick Byers got a calf, Carter's got a hamstring, you know what I mean? So we just, he was tested again Saturday morning, and he was 50-50, but, you know, they break down the game, you play down straight away, you're in a lot of trouble, so we just can't take that chance, and we've got a few tools we can rotate through there, but, you know, Carter's ran me twice today, he's pretty keen to get back in, but he's got to do the work on the track, and if he does, and Tyler George the same thing, and Simon Carton, they come up, they're very good players in our structures, and they'll play footy for us.
Fantastic. And when will those tests be? They'll be on Sunday?
Well, they've got to train Tuesday, Thursday. Weight sessions last night. They get through Thursday, run Thursday, and we require a fitness test if required Saturday morning. Obviously, we've got the extra day we play on Sunday, but we'll have a fair idea by Thursday.
Fantastic. Where do you think the game's going to be won this weekend?
Gilly said that. It's just in the midfield, you know. We've got, you know, Rooster and Peacey. Just I love the way Peacey plays his ripper, and Big Jez is in there. He's going to go against Hicksy, Callan Young, you know, Aidan George and Base. So I reckon the game will won in the midfield for sure.
Would you have preferred to play Redan later on in the finals campaign rather than week 2?
You've got to play whoever's there, Gavin. It makes any difference. If you're going to be good enough, you've got to play everybody anyway. You know, they've been a form team for years and years. Rick mentioned last week 6 out of 10 premierships. You know, they've won, so their club culture is very good. But have they come back from the bye as good as they were earlier in the year? You know, after the bye, you know, we lost 2 games this year after the bye. Darley lost after the bye after they beat us. I think Redan lost after the bye to Sunbury. Played South, you know, had a good sort of quarter and a half against South over the line. Played Lakers last game, and then Sunbury played very well. We can show them up a bit. You know, can we bring that to the table? Well, the boys had a look at the vision last night with the Sunbury game and Redan. We'll go back through it again Thursday night. So, have we got them late in the year? Might be a good time to get them Gav, hopefully. You know.
Do you think that you're just following on what you said then? Do you think they'll be substantially better for the run last week?
Well, I hope not.
Is Tristan Cartledge guaranteed to come in the side if he proves fit?
Well, it's a $1 million question. Do we go extra tall against them? They've got huge height, or we put some more runners? I know, our pace against Redan over the last couple of years has been pretty good, and that's something we want to maintain. It's one of our advantages, we think. You bring carts and you lose a runner, so we'll weigh that up. But Nick buys players, they bring an extra tall, and we bring an extra tall, and we'll sort of see how we go with that. We'll know by the reserves Saturday how they're going with their numbers.
Sure.
Sunday, sorry.
And is he the only player that's kind of outside of the 22 from last week?
Tyler George as well.
Tyler
Tyler George, Annie Lay, there's a couple of blokes who played senior footy all year. Big chance to come in. Just
Yeah,
matchups are the key as well. Get the right matchups and stuff. And we played 42 blokes this year, so hopefully you plan for these things down the track. You lose a bloke, you can bring someone in and not lose nothing.
And just following from last week, obviously the mood's great, and but in terms of the 1 day less to prepare, do you go lighter this week with that in mind, training-wise?
It'd be the same as last week, Gavin. We trained last week. The boys had recovery Sunday, recovery Monday night, and the boys did a gym session tonight. Trained last night, so it was sort of light night. Something similar Thursday, and we were required for you or do training of just a light jog and touch the footy, bit of touch, get a sweat up, and they're done Saturday.
And presumably the mood's particularly buoyant after.
Yeah, the mood's pretty good. It was a real good win. Like when Darley beat us, they really just opened us up, and we were a bit disappointed. I was a bit shattered with the group, and the group were disappointed as well. So we really did a lot of homework on them and really focused on areas we could improve against that mob, which we thought, we played them 7-8 rounds early, and we did really well against them. It was just one of those losses, really disappointing losses. We just didn't stick to our structure and the way we want to play. And when we did it in the weekend, it all worked well, and we beat them.
Sweet, thank you.